afternoon. Let's see, what time is it? 4:40. It's a beautiful day out. Sun's out. Not a single cloud. It's not fucking raining for once. And I'm in the old garage. I got a lot of work to do in here. This place is a fucking shit show. The top of my toolbox is just full of random fucking shit. HID ballast from the IS, 2J crank position sensor, random nuts and bolts and shit. So I gotta clean up in here badly. Check out my new shelves. I don't know if I've shown you guys this stuff yet, but got these two shelves for pretty cheap off of OfferUp. You know, they were like 20 bucks each. Couldn't pass it up, so I was able to stack up my collection of Lexus parts. So, you know, down here just random wiring that I pulled out of Vic's car in a box. All my SC control arms. You know, IS3. Well, these are Vic's Altezza headlights that are going in his car. Those are the originals that came out of his car. You know, I still got fog lights. I have a Solar headlight here. Rear seat belt bezels. I have a SC300 window regulator with the motor. MK3 taillights for my dad's car. All my beloved sacred OEM visors for this SE. You know, just random shit. IS mirrors, random 2JZ throttle body, automatic shifter, alternator, power steering pump, airbag, steering wheel. IS300 rear control arms, factory intake with the airflow meter for the IS, engine cover, starter, brake booster for 4Runner, airflow meter. Any of you OGs, drop a comment if you know what that is. And yeah, so, and I still got this fucking thing hanging out. Mind you, all this stuff is for sale. If you see something you want, see something you need, hit me up on my Instagram. Link is in the bio. I have those OEM SC Solar rain visors and sunroof visor. Authentic Toyota OEM JDM pieces. If you really want those, you're gonna have to make me a reasonable offer. Alright? Don't try to fucking lowball me. It's not gonna happen because to the extent of my knowledge, that's the only set in the United States. And I have all the little brackets with the little screws and this and that. So if you're serious, let me know. Hit on my Instagram. I can send you pictures, send you a video, whatever you want, and let's make a deal. Because they're just sitting up there, not being used. And you know, want to see them get put to use. They're my favorite piece. I have my SE, and I just don't see myself getting another SE, so because I really want a chaser. But anyways, as I'm rambling on, I want to apologize for not delivering in the content. Recently, some big things are happening in my life. 2020. So I'm in the middle of a career transition, meaning I'm switching careers. I don't exactly want to say what I'm doing now and what I'm going to be doing or hope to be doing. I kind of want to keep that under wraps until the transition is finished and complete. But those that are close to me, that know me, already know what's going on. But don't worry, I have been working on Vic's car. I've been working on my truck. Just haven't been recording anything. Because to be honest with you, it's been under a lot of stress lately, and just haven't really been in the mood. Which is weird because I really like making content. It's fun, and I love the editing. I love the recording. I love uploading it. I love interacting with you guys. But at the same time, it's like, you know, just under a lot of stress recently, and haven't been in the. I have to be in the right mindset to make videos and stuff. So I wasn't in the right mindset. I didn't want to just upload a video just for the sake of uploading and it be junk. You know, I just didn't want to waste your time. So with that said, I mean, Shit, I did a fucking fuel pump on the truck. If you guys follow my Instagram, you know that. That was pretty exciting because I was able to unbolt the bed of the pickup, tilt it on its side so I could get to the top of the fuel tank. That was kind of fun. Been working on Vic's car. Power steering is complete, filled up with fluid. Good news, that's another thing checked off the list. Anyways, so you guys are probably wondering, why the fuck is this asshole talking so much? I'm sorry, just want to kind of give you guys an update. But anyways, on to the good stuff. As you see, the hood of the truck is open. And those are my fucking refrigerant gauges. Why the fuck? Everything I buy, the AC always fucking goes out on it. Always. My 4Runners, my SC, my wife's IS300, now the Sierra. Fuck, man. Anyways, yeah, it's not blowing hot anymore, or it's not blowing cold anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and hook the gauges up, see what's going on. I've already went through with a leak detector. If you guys are familiar with a refrigerant leak detector, it's just this machine with a wand. You hold it over all the connections, the ports, anywhere on the AC line where there could possibly be a leak, and it'll like start beeping to let you know, hey, this just got refrigerant leaking out of it. I already did that, didn't find any leaks. So what I'll do is, for the sake of the video, I'll hook the gauges up, see what my pressures are at, bring the leak detector out, show you guys how it works, and we'll check again for leaks, because I don't know, and I have a suspicion it could be electrical. So after that, we'll poke around with the multimeter and see what's going on. Alright, so I got my gauges hooked up, and so you can see low side, high side. Obviously the yellow hose isn't going anywhere because we're not doing anything to the system yet. We're just checking the pressures, and with the system off, want to make sure they're more or less equalized and looking good. Just below, let's see, what is that? Just below 90 on both sides. So they're balanced. Mind you, these aren't R134 gauges. So the pressures that I'm looking at aren't exactly what you think they'd be if you're an R134 expert. This is just to see what the pressures are doing. So I can see the compressor cycle on and off, see if there's a blockage somewhere in the system. So if high pressure shoots up and low pressure doesn't do anything, that tells me there's a blockage somewhere, either dryer or expansion valve, or in this case, the orifice. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn the truck on, turn the AC on, grab my flashlight, check to make sure the clutch on the AC compressor is engaging, and then see what the gauges are doing. And what I saw is somebody said the pressure switch might be faulty, which is right here on the dryer. I mean, the compressor is moving refrigerant. It's not making any weird fucking noises. I mean, I hear the clutch engaging and disengaging. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and do another leak test. This is a leak detector. Just takes regular batteries. And this is the wand that you're supposed to, wave over, different components and hoses and shit to see if to see if it's leaking refrigerant at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this thing up and get it calibrated. So, got the batteries in it. You see here you have off, low, and high. So off, obviously off. Low, I guess if you're in a shop that does AC and there's refrigerant and air and whatnot, you don't want to, you know, get a whiff of the car next to you. That's what I'm assuming what it is. And then high is, you know, sensitive mode, I guess. So you turn it on, it's gonna beep like that. Basically what it did there, it just calibrated itself. And those random chirps are just letting you know that it's on and it's searching. And then basically, when I pass it over different components, let's see if my gauges are leaking at all. No, they're not. That's really good. Just leaking at all? Nope. Alright, no leaks in my gauges. So, basically just pass it over, like this joint right here. Pass it along the firewall. Top of the dryer. The pressure switch. And you know, the crimp fittings on the rubber AC lines, those typically fail. You know, and just kind of just poke around. You can go across the front of the condenser also. See if maybe you hit a you got a rock chip or something. Your rock came up on the highway and hit the condenser. You never know. I've seen that happen before. Just kind of poke around a little bit. See what you can find. So far, as you can hear the beeping. There's nothing yet. Nothing. Right there, that's a connection to the condenser. And then the other one is up here at the top. You guys can see it, but it's pretty dark, but the GoPro's just not picking it up. And neither is this detector. Kind of think of this thing as a metal detector. I don't know if you guys ever seen one or used one, but same concept. If it finds refrigerant, it starts beeping like crazy. And well, it's not it. It's not leaking. Next step is I got this piece of wire here. I'm gonna jump the pressure switch and see what happens. This should keep the compressor running at all times constantly, and I'll go inside and see if it gets cold inside the cab or not. Right there. So this is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to put you down. So basically there it is. I unplugged it from the switch, jumped the terminals in the plug, and now the compressor is constantly going, like on a 2J. So verify the clutch is engaged. Compressor's running, clutch is engaged. No weird sounds. Let's see what's going on in here. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit more coolness. It's not freezing like it used to when I first bought the truck. Because when I first bought the truck, this thing was piping. But it's not quite freezing yet. It's cool. It's definitely cooler than the outside ambient temperature. so I don't know. This is gonna take a little bit more research. Turn the truck off. I mean, with that said, just like any other AC job you do, I did go ahead and I bought a dryer, accumulator, as some people call it, and the orifice tube, which is, you know, that's what it looks like. It's not like, I know you guys are a lot of Toyota fellows that watch my channel. And the Lexus IS300, the SC300 is like this block of aluminum with the two inlet outlet and a little thermostat fucking thing on there. That's most imports. I know my dad's F250 has one of these instead of an expansion valve. These are called the orifice tube. And where this goes, it's kind of like a filter. And I want to say there's like a little brass rod on the inside. I want to say it acts like a thermostat at a certain temperature. Maybe it opens up and lets refrigerant through, like an expansion valve, but for some reason it's called an orifice. But anyways, what you do is after you recover all the refrigerant, you break this line, this fitting apart, and the orifice goes in here. So you unbolt it here, unbolt it from the firewall. You take this little section out of the low side, and then you just reach in here with some very little needle nose pliers, and you fish it out. So, yeah, man. I also bought 2 cans of refrigerant. That should be enough. If it's not, oh, I forgot about this. I bought a battery for my key fob too because it was going dead. Basically, tomorrow, head down to the Hialeah shop and recover the refrigerant, change out the accumulator and the expansion valve. By the way, the accumulator for this truck was about 30 bucks, and this thing was like $1. So, fucking like $1.50, something like that. I'll tell you right now, actually, for a fact, the AC orifice tube. Oh, it was actually $3. My bad. I think I did see one for $1, but I was like, let's step that up a little bit to $3. But you know, hey, if you want to buy the cheap one for your vehicle, who am I to say you can't? It was just personal preference. I don't know if it made a difference, but hey, why not? A couple dollars, peace of mind maybe. Yeah, so anyways, go ahead, disconnect the gauges and put the pressure switch back on and ride to work in the morning with the windows down. And I will catch you guys tomorrow, which on your side of the computer or phone or tablet will be 1 second. Alright guys, what is going on? It is Saturday. Last time I checked in on you guys, I was back in my garage. Anyways, I'm here. Ooh, I think my lens is dirty. There you go, and I'm back. Gauge is hooked up. I went ahead and recovered all the refrigerant out of the system, put it in my waste tank, and the system's empty. Now I gotta break apart this fitting here to get to the orifice. I went ahead, went to Advanced Auto Parts and grabbed the new pressure switch, because when I googled it, did my research, everybody was pretty much saying that, oh, if your AC compressor is cycling on and off like that so rapidly, then the AC switch could be faulty. So it was 12 bucks. Why the fuck not, you know? Let me go ahead and swap it out. It's super easy to do. It goes right into the new dryer, and then you know, then we'll see what happens after that. If that still doesn't work after that, then I might have to look into the compressor itself. which is weird because I did see it cycling and is making pressure and pulling suction and not making any noise, any weird noises. So you just never know. Like I said, not an AC pro, never claimed to be a professional at this. I'm just going by experience and Google pretty much. So let me go ahead and break that fitting loose and show you guys that orifice too. There we go. That's pretty easy. Not bad at all. And then I gotta do these bolts here. Actually, no, yeah, both of them for the dryer and for this line. So I gotta get out this fucking piece. So. Alright, so I brought some pliers. I can't even see what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of like winging this right now. I got picks. I just don't know what the fuck I am doing. Oh, there we go. I got it. Take a little bit of finessing. Oh, there we go. Okay, not bad. So basically, because the old expansion valve I pulled out had oil on it, I'm just gonna go ahead and saturate the new one with some refrigerant oil and shove it on in there, you know? There you go. Shove that right in there. That seems about right to me. Take off this line. I'll go ahead and replace these O-rings too while I'm at it. So I'll set that down right there. And then remove this, and then the dryer will come out. Low pressure. And then, oh, there's something holding it to the firewall or what? Oh, damn, there is. Okay. That looks like probably a 10 or what? That sucks. Yeah, no, actually it goes bolted to this right here. So I know this truck came from Connecticut, but that bracket is pretty fucking crusty. But I'm gonna need it. I can't find that at the fucking AutoZone. But anyways, there it is. I have to peel this insulation off of around it without damaging it, because I need to reuse this. And then gotta put you guys down. There it is. So, I wish I brought my fucking head strap. Basically, all I'm gonna do right now, look, it even brings little O-rings and gaskets and shit. What I'm gonna do now, verify they're the same. Shit, I'm gonna have to take that stud out and put it into this one. Then I just gotta put the new sensor right here. Which, I wonder if that Schrader valve's supposed to be in there. Interesting. That'd be pretty cool if you could change these out without draining the system. Yeah, you can. Good job, GM. You did something smart. Okay, so I know the Schrader valve stays in there now. Here's the new sensor. Pull this one back out. Oh yeah, they're the same. Sweet. Just thread the new one on there like that. Making sure it goes on straight. There we go. All right. Now I gotta pull this stud off. So basically right now I'm just gonna switch the studs over, fill the new accumulator with about 2 ounces of refrigerant, and then put it back on the firewall. All right guys, had everything back in the truck. Literally only took me like 15 minutes. Added oil to the dryer, got the new sensor in, new orifice. I went ahead and took, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that like silverish, like aluminum tape you put on like air conditioning, ducting and shit. Well, I put 2 wraps of that stuff around the insulation on the accumulator just to hold it together. Feels like a clamshell type configuration or whatever, I don't know, whatever. I just felt like it was the right thing to do. But anyways, got the vacuum pump hooked up, pulling vacuum now. You just see needles fucking peg. Pulling vacuum from both high and low sides. And well, I'm gonna pull vacuum for about 15-20 minutes. Come back, shut the vacuum pump off. Wait another 15-20 minutes and see if it's holding vacuum on its own. If it does, we're all good. If it doesn't, we got a leak somewhere and I gotta find it. So I'll check back in with you guys when I'm ready to recharge. So in the meantime, while the compressors go ahead and pulling vacuum out of my system, or the vacuum pump is pulling vacuum out of my system, I'm an asshole. Gonna finish up some little minor details on this old girl. Last time I was here, I didn't record, but power steering system is fully plumbed. We got some protective wire loom over the entire wiring harness. We did some other shit too. Trying to think off the top of my head. We tightened down the engine mounts. That's very glad that I found that, because I guess when we set the engine down, we just set it down and walked away. We had no nuts on the studs for the engine mounts on the bottom, but we got that squared away. I have these grounds that I have to ground somewhere, literally. And then right now I gotta finish bolting up this bracket. If you Jay-Z guys know, there's that bracket that goes from the lower runners to the engine block, and then you have this horizontal bracket here that goes from that bracket to the power steering pump. It's already there, I just gotta tighten them up. And then I gotta find the intake manifold gasket for those runners, and then we can permanently affix the upper intake manifold to the lower runners. and I am pretty stoked about that. And then just, you know, some little things here and there I gotta button up, and then hopefully next weekend, like I said before, Vic can go ahead and buy a battery, hook it up, and see what happens when we throw 12 volts at it. If everything's good, we can flush out the fuel system, button up the fuel lines to the fuel rail, and man, and just kind of go down the checklist again and see what we need to do before we could at least attempt to crank it over. Starters hooked up, alternators hooked up, fuse box, and then we got the grounds bolted up also. The 3 major grounds they'll do. NGK plug wire set for the IS300. I'm gonna go ahead and put those on and just keep buttoning shit up. Alright, so let's see what we got. I already removed the vacuum pump. I got my refrigerant going in to the low side. Compressor's kicking on and off. A little bit longer than before. Let's keep adding refrigerant, letting it pull it in, and we'll check back in on you guys. I got the thermometer in the window. I'll open it. We're looking at 80 degrees. AC's on full crank, and we'll see what happens. Alright, just started the second can. I got it tucked in right there next to the anti-manifold so it gets a little warm. We are just below 50. Come on, 40. Give it to me. That's good news. I'm stoked. I'm at about, yeah, 48. It's fucking cranking, just like I bought it. So, and the compressor, I noticed, is staying on now. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the compressor is spinning, which is good. That means the clutch is engaged. What is up? I am on the interstate on my way home with the windows up, so you know what that means. Fucking AC is piping, boys. I got the trusty meat thermometer there in the vent. It looks like I got about 42 degrees Fahrenheit. Not bad. I did have it at 40 earlier, but that was with the truck parked on the side of my dad's house in the shade, so the sun wasn't exactly beating down on it. Even though today's really not that bad of a day outside, it's relatively cool, there's no humidity, so I really want to see, you know, what this AC is gonna do come, you know, fucking July or August. But I mean, it's still January, so whatever, I'm not complaining. If anything happens, pull vacuum, recharge it again, and see what happens. But anyways, I'm gonna call it for this video. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.